Hey, what's up, guys? It's Celeb, and I'm here to talk about EA and my thoughts on their press conference. Now, I was, to say the least, I was upset with the press conference. It was a total fluff of a conference. There was nothing they had to show outside of TitanFall, their sports games, and Battlefield. And Titanfall and Battlefield, we already know they're coming out. The sports games, every year we know they're going to show sports games. People wanted to see something new from EA. They've been talking about the visceral Star Wars game for so long, and literally in the Star Wars trailer that they showed off, it was literally 2 seconds to 10 seconds of gameplay of actual in-game footage or pre-alpha in-game footage. It really sucked, man. I mean, it was just, I was so upset. I was thinking that EA was going to come out and do something a little bit different than what they did last year and actually release some trailers and show off more Mass Effect Andromeda gameplay. And they did the same thing they did last year. They showed off behind-the-scenes clips of what's going on behind the scenes with Visceral and, oh, what's going on behind the scenes with Mass Effect at BioWare. You know, this is the same stuff we saw last year. These are trailers that could have been released. They could have been released on YouTube after the fact. Let's get some actual gameplay. Now, Mass Effect Andromeda, they showed some gameplay. They showed some in-game footage, which was nice. But at the same time, we didn't see actual gameplay. We didn't see a full heavy-length trailer. It was jumping back and forth between this behind-the-scenes stuff. And at the end, you have a female jump up and say, oh, we made it. You know, we got to the Andromeda Galaxy. That's awesome. But where's the content? What are you supposed to, how do you justify having a press conference, an hour-long press conference, and show barely anything? And what's funny is they even said at one point, well, you know, it's really hard for us to show all this stuff in 60 minutes. So basically, we're going to show you previews of what's to come, so you can get a taste of everything. No, you didn't do that because you didn't have enough time to show everything. You did that because you didn't have anything set up. There wasn't games that were finished that you could show off. Mass Effect isn't finished, and you don't want to show it off yet, and you know that. Another thing is the visceral Amy Hennig game that everybody has been talking about and really wants to see was not shown off at all. They didn't showcase any type of PlayStation VR. Like, they showed it in a Star Wars trailer with a dude wearing a VR headset and he's kind of looking around in Battlefront. They showed no video footage or gameplay of that. The only good thing that came out of the EA presser was the Titanfall 2 I guess gameplay footage that they showed for multiplayer, the gameplay trailer, and Battlefield 1. And that was fantastic. They showed a little bit of gameplay, but then we didn't even get to see that gameplay until after the presser. And it was an hour's worth of multiplayer of a bunch of celebrities and YouTube stars or Twitch streamers and stuff playing the game. And that's cool, man. That's awesome. They could have done that and like sat there for the 15 minutes the guy was on stage. He could have said, "Hey, man, you know, we really want to talk to you about the story and where it's driven, what the character is. Since this game does come out later on this year in October, why would they not show more stuff? Why would they not release a heavier story trailer? You know, say, hey, we have 10 minutes of gameplay exclusive to you guys that we want to show you." And this is the reason why I've constantly said, if you don't have enough stuff to show at E3, don't do a presser. Just don't do a press conference if you don't have the amount of content to show off. I mean, I even said it last year. People need to learn from Bethesda. Bethesda, they announced Fallout 4 last year. They announced the release date. They showed off gameplay. They announced a release date for Doom, said whenever it was coming out, or said the window of when it was coming out. Showed off gameplay. They talked about Dishonored 2. They talked about some other stuff here and there. And I mean, and this year, Bethesda is really going to show off a lot of stuff, and I think it's going to be a fantastic press conference. But EA, I mean, you're saying, hey, man, this is a new thing for us. We're doing EA Play. You know, a lot of these people in England, they're going to be able to, like, right afterwards, going to be able to play games. That's awesome, man. But what about the people that didn't get to see things? What about the consumer out there that wants to see the title that you've been working on? What's the justification of you having this big-ass press conference and a full hour's worth of a press conference, you renting out the location, and then just showing stuff you could have released on YouTube? You know what I'm saying? And rant. I was very upset. You know, I'm excited to see some stuff from Star Wars, but, you know, Jade Raymond, she came out and she literally told us everything we already know. You know, and I'm glad Jade Raymond's over there at EA, but they came out and they said the same stuff. They showed off EA Originals for, it was like, you know, to help indie developers. That's cool, man. I mean, that's awesome. But it was one indie developer they showed off, and you know, the game looks all right. Doesn't look bad. But outside of that, that was it. They showed off 2 sports games, and they barely even showed off any of that. They didn't even show off gameplay, really. They showed off a little bit of stuff here and there, and that's it. So I don't know, man. I'm upset with EA, and I wish that they would, you know, come back to the light, make a little bit more sense of what you're doing before you spend all this money on an EA press conference, guys. That's it for me. I will have my reaction for the Bethesda presser tonight as well, and make sure to check us out at secondopinionpod.com, guys. Peace out.